Okay, so I'm just going to back up a little bit. So what we're talking about today is diabetes. So when I had gone to the doctor's office, they gave me my lab report. They didn't mention anything about being pre-diabetic. It was only when I went back for something different. And when I went back, she said, yeah, we see that you're pre-diabetic. Your number is 5.7. We're just going to keep an eye on it. And what I learned today, keeping an eye on it, is basically we're going to let it become diabetes. So then we could really treat it. After I learned today, yes, that is exactly what it is. If you're pre-diabetic and they're not telling you anything or trying to give you some things to prevent it, then they're just waiting for you to become diabetic so that you can start going through the process of whatever comes with the diabetes. So the more I'm on Sunshine Wellness, the more I dig deep, the more I start caring for my own body. Now, I'm still struggling, just like many other people. I still eat the junk food, and whenever there's a Christmas or holidays, I'm eating the sweets. And then once that starts, now I can't stop. So the addiction comes back, and it's stronger than ever. But what I learned today is going to stop all that for me. But anyway, what I decided to do was I actually bought a glucose machine. I thought I would never have to buy one of these. I thought this was for like, old people that have blood sugar issues. Okay, I'm older. I'm not going to say I'm old, but anyway, I just thought this was for other people. This is not for me. I have a Sunshine podcast. We talk about health and wellness all the time. I eat fairly well. I don't eat a whole lot of meat. There's certain things I just don't eat anymore. As I gradually stop doing certain things, I don't struggle with certain areas anymore. I don't have to have meat. I'll eat it every now and then, but I don't have to have it. Sugar, sweets, that was my crutch. That is the struggle that I, have to constantly overcome. So the more we're doing these awarenesses, the more I'm realizing, okay, you know what? I need to do something about this. And especially when I find out people on the Sunshine Call or from the Sunshine family have had eye issues where they're, causing blurred vision, or they had to have limbs cut off because of diabetes, or because they're, having fatigue, or whatever the case may be. I have learned, I'm realizing, okay, I need to start being proactive in my life so I can help other people be proactive in theirs. Now, the struggle is real, and there might be times where I kind of fall off a little bit, but I guarantee when I fall off, it's not going to be where I'm back to where I was. I will gradually go up and then maybe fall off a little bit, but it will constantly be a progression. And I'm going to help the Sunshine family to progress as well. As I learn, I'm going to pray that you guys learn as well. As a matter of fact, I pray for you guys every night because I want everybody to want to care about themselves, because it's a difficult thing. I mean, the addiction is real. It is real. We can no longer talk about people that are addicts that are in the street because they're using cocaine or crack. We can't talk about them because they're giving us the same thing, except it's legal. Sugar is even reports say it's even more addictive than cocaine. You can look it up. So our addiction is legal, but it still has the same effect as those people that you see on the street. Yeah, it's causing them to be on the street, homeless, and things like that, because that is such a big, the effect that it has on them is a lot worse, and it's immediate. The effect that sugar has on us is bad, but it's a slow progression, and we don't even realize it until after we're diagnosed with all these, Alzheimer, diabetes, and all these other different things. It causes the brain, the kidney, the liver. It affects so many areas of our life. This diabetes, it affects so many areas of our life. And I'm going to explain, because you guys, I'm not a science person, I'm not an anatomy person, I'm not any of that. I'm just regular. So because of that, I am able to explain what it really is in layman's terms, in regular people's terms. Because as I was going through this, I was doing a PowerPoint for us to understand diabetes. And as I was doing this, I learned so much, and this was yesterday when I was actually, going through it and understanding something. I learned so much stuff yesterday that I have never learned in my whole life about my body in just like hours, a few hours. And I am more than happy to share that today. And I want you guys to really listen, open up your ears. And it's not anything for anybody to be afraid of. As a matter of fact, this is going to be eye-opening to where you don't have to be afraid to go to the doctor to find out what your lab report is. Because I know people that won't go to the doctor because, I don't want to hear what the doctor has to say. I don't want to hear that I have this or that. It is not about that. It's about learning what's going on in your body so now you can attack it and you can help your body to heal it. Because your body it's already working on it, but when we don't help it, it's just constantly working. It's like you having a job and it's like you're on the assembly line and you're doing your part, but the other person is not available, and that piece that you're doing is just going straight through and nothing's being done to it. It's not being fixed. So your part today is to listen so that you can be proactive and you can fix. You can get on that assembly line and help your body fix whatever's going on in your body. And if you have diabetes, or if you are afraid you have diabetes, don't be afraid anymore, because I will give you the solution on here today. Let me give our disclaimer. This is a community call. It's here to educate the community about holistic healing. All the information and comments are the opinions or experiences of individuals. Unless introduced as a doctor, individuals on the call are not doctors. So please consult with your own doctor, or even better, do your own research and find out about your own body. Because you and your body is your best doctor, actually. So, all right, so we're going to get into, as soon as I feel like I'm the whiz. I've got all this stuff going on. Because I just want to share so much with you guys. Because the stuff I found out about diabetes is unbelievable. With understanding diabetes, you guys, okay, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor, I'm not any of that. Anatomy and all that kind of stuff is not my thing. But all I know is that somebody told me I had my numbers were showing pre-diabetic. So I'm gonna go ahead and start. Well, I didn't. When I first found out, I still didn't start doing what I needed to do. But the more I'm getting deeper into Sunshine and Wellness, the more I'm realizing, you know what, I've got to take my life back. This doesn't make any sense. I'm still eating sweets and I'm doing all this kind of stuff. I don't really know what's going on with my body. So when I put this together, with the help of II, when I put this together, we put this together, I started researching some of the things that were in here. And I mean, you guys, it really, really blew my mind that we don't know that I didn't know these things, and that a lot of us aren't taught these things. So let's dive in. So understanding diabetes, okay? What is diabetes? That's something that, people keep telling you glucose, and this is me. The things I'm saying, this is what I experience. Glucose, they bring all this cortisol and all these other names, and I don't know what that is. Okay, what? So there's type 1 diabetes. That's the autoimmune condition. This one is it could start at childbirth or whatever, but they say that this is what you'd have the rest of your life, and that there's no diet or lifestyle. I don't know. We'll dig into that later, but I'm mainly talking about type 2 diabetes. So for type 2 diabetes, lifestyle influence condition, cells become resistant to insulin, most common in 90 to 95% of all cases. Okay, often develops gradually. And this can be reversed. So if you have diabetes, if you have pre-diabetes, or if you know somebody that's diabetic, no need to panic because it can be reversed. And that's what I'm here to tell you today. It can be reversed, so stop being so scared, okay? Don't be afraid. And that's the thing, being afraid causes more problems. Okay, so this is a quick video. I'm animated, I need to see, I'm more visual. So this helped me to really understand what the insulin, the pancreas, the blood sugar, the glucose, this really helped me to understand. It's about 4 minutes. So here we go.
Understanding type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is a metabolic disorder that causes sugar, in the form of glucose, to accumulate in the blood rather than being used as fuel by the cells in our body. When we eat, food is broken down by our digestive system into nutrient molecules that are then absorbed through our digestive tract for use by the body. Foods containing carbohydrates or various sugars are broken down into glucose. Glucose is an important source of fuel for many organs in our body. However, to be able to use the glucose for fuel, the glucose molecule must first enter into the cell. The pancreas produces a hormone called insulin, a chemical messenger essential for the entry of glucose into cells. As the blood glucose levels rise after a meal, insulin is released into the bloodstream and sets processes in motion to trigger the removal of glucose from the blood to enter into the cells. In type 2 diabetes, the cells become resistant to insulin and ignore its message to absorb glucose. This is known as insulin resistance. In addition, in type 2 diabetes, the pancreas is unable to produce the greater amounts of insulin needed to trigger these resistant cells to take in glucose from the bloodstream. The most notable symptom of diabetes is frequent urination and excessive thirst. Other symptoms include weakness, drowsiness, and blurred vision. These are caused by chemical imbalances in the blood related to high levels of blood glucose. About 1 in 4 people with type 2 diabetes are unaware that they have the disease. It is important to catch diabetes early. Over time, high blood glucose damages the blood vessels, which can damage the organs that these vessels supply, leading to a variety of health complications. Damage to the small or micro blood vessels can cause vision problems, including loss of sight, nerve damage, and kidney disease. Damage to larger or macro blood vessels can lead to cardiovascular complications such as heart disease, stroke, and poor blood circulation. Overweight and inactivity are major causes of diabetes. A family history of diabetes significantly increases your risk of developing the disease. Certain ethnic populations are also at increased risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Finally, some medications may increase your diabetes risk, specifically corticosteroids, thiazide diuretics, drugs used to treat certain mental illnesses, and some antiretrovirals used to treat HIV infection. In summary, type 2 diabetes is a metabolic disorder. It causes sugar, in the form of glucose, to accumulate in the blood rather than being used as fuel for the cells in our body. If not diagnosed and treated in a timely manner, type 2 diabetes can lead to many health complications.
Okay, so hopefully that explains it. Like it really helped me to understand what it is. So you eat the food breaks down to sugar, the insulin is the key, then the pancreas comes into play, and then if we have diabetes, it's not working. Okay, so does anybody have any questions about that part? Okay, awesome. So now the common warning signs. Now these are the symptoms that diabetes, so you're becoming diabetic or that you are diabetic. Excessive thirst, you're drinking but never satisfied, frequent urination, extreme fatigue, tired even after sleeping, blurred vision, things seem out of focus, slow healing wounds or frequent infections, increased hunger even after eating, tingling or numbness in the hands, unexplained weight changes. Okay? So, now does any of this sound familiar? Does anybody have anything going on that, like any of those symptoms going on? So this is the time where you start thinking, okay, there's a possibility. But, I mean, you don't just say, oh yeah, I have diabetes. No, this is where you go get your lab work done. Go get your blood test. Okay, so if you recognize anything from that list, you're not alone. A lot of us have that same thing. Like I said, my test came up as pre-diabetic. So what I had learned also this week was that 40 million people have diabetes. 1 out of 4 don't know they have diabetes. And 115 million people are pre-diabetic. I could not believe that. So this website right here, if you click onto that, or if, I'll have it available. But anyway, just do a screenshot so you could see it. And then it's LabCorp. So you could go there and they do blood tests there. So you don't have to have the insurance. I mean, you'd have to pay for it, of course. But you don't have to have insurance to get your lab work done. Or a prescription, or lab order, whatever they call it. Okay, so... All right, getting a diagnosis, so it is not a death sentence. All right, our bodies always work on our behalf. Type 2 diabetes is reversible, so it's not something you need to be afraid of. You can talk to your doctor to find out, to take the test to find out if that is actually the case, find out what your glucose level is, and then we have this community here to help us, help you along the way. All right, so it can be reversed. So this is the fun part. All right, so here are the things, and I'm sure you guys have heard these things, but I want to dive deep into these things that they keep telling us. Okay, lose weight. If you lose 5 to 10% of your body weight, it can improve the insulin sensitivity. Change what you eat. We know that a fiber plant-based diet is really good and helps with that. To move, get some movement, 30 minutes of walking. Sleep and stress. Don't stress. You just got to get your rest and work with your doctor, as far as lab reports and that type of thing. Okay? So we know all of this. I've heard all of these several times, but it still didn't help me when I found out that I was pre-diabetic. It didn't help me because okay, it's difficult. It's difficult doing those things when you gotta live, okay? So this is where we dig deep into why we have to do those things. Okay, 86% of the people with prediabetes don't even know they have it. 86%. So it's a possibility that you have it and you have no idea. Okay, so 50% can reverse it through diet and exercise alone. Now, this was what was kind of, this was kind of eye-opening. So, so some of this stuff I'm going to read because, like I said, I'm not an expert on this, but this is stuff I found out. Medications like metformin manage and lower blood sugar, but they don't reverse diabetes. Okay? Now, some people are relying on this and that to heal them, but it's not to heal. It's to control the symptoms. It's to control what's going on. So they have actually done research, and they found out that the people that do the plant-based or do the lifestyle change are the ones that are reversing it. But you're not going to reverse it from taking medicine alone. And you could look that up because it is actually in, you could research it. And it takes about 12 months for it to reverse. Now, I don't know that for a fact, but that's what they're saying. But I do remember once when I worked at Sunshine's, there was a guy there that came in, found out he had diabetes, And about 3 months later, maybe, if that much, he came in, he had lost a lot of weight and said that he no longer had diabetes. So that was 3 months. But do your own research, you know. All right, so blood sugar spikes. I know you guys have heard of, oh, you know, don't get your, you know, you got to be careful you don't get a blood sugar spike. And I knew this, but I'm like, okay, well, what is a blood sugar spike? Okay, so I dug a little deeper into it. So what is happening with a blood sugar spike? And the example is, it's like a roller coaster. When you're going up a roller coaster, that anticipation and it's tick, 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 as it's going up or whatever, that is the spike. It's going up and then shoots down. Your stomach is queasy and you're feeling all this rush and adrenaline or whatever. Okay, that is not something that you want to have every day, 3 days a week. You're on this roller coaster ride going up and down for years. So this is the blood sugar spike doing things like that in our body. So what is happening during the blood sugar spike? Your blood becomes almost thick like sugary syrup temporarily during this blood sugar spike. The syrup has to travel through every single blood vessel in your body. Okay, from the biggest arteries down to the thinnest vessels, the ones in your eyes. Think about that. This sugary substance has to travel through your eyes. Tiny vessels getting damaged, blurry vision, eventually blindness. It goes through your feet and toes. The vessels are so small, they're like threads. It causes damage, numbness, in severe cases, amputation. It has to go, this sugary, thick substance has to go through your kidneys. They're essentially your filtration system. The sugar clogs and damages the filter and causes kidney disease. It goes through your heart, the vessels. It causes the vessels to harden and narrow, causes heart attack risk. It increases the heart attack risk drastically. Brain. It goes through your brain also. The vessels damage. It increased risk of stroke and dementia. Okay, so the damage is happening slowly and silently. You can't feel what's happening until you have already had significant damage. Now, let's talk about the crash. Now, this is more problems. So you're having problems with the spike, and now the crash, we're having more problems. After the spike, your pancreas, it panics. Okay, so your pancreas is really trying to it's really trying to help us. So and I'm trying to describe it. So whenever we eat a lot of sugar, your pancreas is like, oh no, let me put some insulin so it could absorb into the cells, like we saw in the video. Let me more and more, let me get more insulin, and it's just going crazy. Okay, so now it has all this insulin in our system. And so it puts that insulin in the cells, and now the cells are just absorbing all of that sugar. It's absorbing all of it. But we crash. Then we crash. It's like the emergency. Send no more insulin. Okay, so the pancreas is saying, send more insulin now. Okay, so when it floods into your body with the insulin, your body is trying to clean up this mess. But it overcorrects, okay? It sends too much insulin, and now your body's sugar drops too low. This is called hypoglycemic, okay? That was something else I didn't really understand. And it feels absolutely awful. Now, I've experienced this also, where you're shaking and trembling, sudden irritation or being hangry, dizziness and confusion, extreme fatigue, like someone pulled your plug out, an intense craving for sugar and carbs. Your body is screaming for quick energy. Okay, because I know whenever I'm feeling like that, it's like, oh, I need to hurry up and get something to try to get rid of that. So I'm just eating everything. And then it calms down. But here's the trap. Here's the cruel trap. Your body is crashing so hard, it forces you to reach for sugar to feel better. You eat the sugar, Blood sugar spikes again. Pancreas overreacts or corrects again. Then the blood sugar crashes again. You crave the sugar again. Repeat all day, every day. Now the intensity may be different. It might not be the time where you're shaking and all of that, but it's there. So when people say that they're addicted to sugar, it's biology. It's not, only that we're addicted, it's biology. Your body is requiring it because of the condition that we're putting it in. It's literally trapped in a cycle created to try to save itself. And we are able to help it to stop with that. So the long-term consequences that nobody connects, most people don't realize that these daily spikes and crashes over months and years are silently causing chronic fatigue. Your energy system is exhausted from the constant roller coaster. You've got brain fog. Your brain runs on glucose. So, I didn't realize that. Your brain runs on glucose, unstable glucose. Now, when all of this sugar keeps coming in, now it's unstable. Now it means that it causes unstable thinking. So the brain is not thinking properly because it's unstable. Too much glucose coming in. Contributing to Alzheimer's disease or type 3 diabetes. The brain cells start starving and dying. Okay. All right, so now your brain cells are starving and dying. Studies show that diabetes have a significant higher risk of dementia, people that are diabetic, dementia, Alzheimer's disease, depression and anxiety disorders, and cognitive decline. Mood disorders, anxiety and depression are heavily linked to blood sugar instability. Weight gain, excess insulin from overcorrection tells your body to store fat, especially around the belly. Dental problems, excessive sugar damage into the gums and the teeth from the inside out. Sleep disorders, blood sugar crashes at night that wake you up, often mistaken for insomnia. So, why do they talk about, they don't talk about the crashes and they don't explain it. They talk about the crashes and the peaks and stuff, the spikes, but they don't explain all of this. Okay, so the description is it's like a broken arm. It's not like a broken arm. You can't see the pain that it's causing. So the blood sugar damage is invisible. You feel tired. You think you need more coffee. You feel moody. You think you are just stressed. You feel foggy. You think you just need more sleep. You feel numb in your feet. You think you just sat wrong. By the time most people connect the dots, significant damage has already been done. The beautiful flip side is the body is incredibly resilient. Studies show that when the blood sugar is stabilized consistently, nerve damage can begin to reverse, kidney function can improve, energy returns, sometimes within days, mood stabilizes dramatically, brain fog lifts, sleep improves. Your body wants to heal. It just needs the right conditions. Okay? All right, so we're going to move on. That was the blood sugar spikes. I just had to share all of that. So, what causes it to spike? So we've got the refined carbs, the sugary drinks. So white bread, pasta, rice. We keep talking about that. Stop eating those things. You know what? I'm not going to say stop eating those things. I'm going to say come up with some alternatives. Find some other things that you can eat in place of those things, because it's difficult to just stop. But some people can. Some people can just stop. But I know some people that you tell them to stop, they get discouraged, and then they just revert back. So those that can't just stop, alternate those things with different things. Instead of rice, do a quinoa. Instead of pasta, there's what is it that Nova had us making that time? Can't remember the name of it now. Kelp noodles. So there are different things
Oh
that you
yeah, the
can.
kelp noodles.
Yes, the kelp noodles, zucchini noodles. Instead of white bread, there are other things that you can do. Okay. And those things that we just talked about a second ago, we're going to talk about again later. So you don't feel like you missed something. All right. So things that you can do today. All right. So intermittent fasting. This was amazing. Okay. So if you fast for 16 hours, eat within an 8-hour window. The example is eat. So that's one way that you can do it. That's the most popular. Then there's another way that's beginner friendly, and that is 12-hour fasting. 12 hours of eating, and you perfect starting point. Stop eating by 8. Eat again by 8. Okay. So I do that, the 12 to 8. It's not difficult, honestly. If you start eating at 12 and then you stop eating at 8, it's really not difficult. But if that is difficult to you right now, then just start at 8 in the morning and end at 8. It's a great place to start. Why it works? Fasting lowers insulin levels and forces your body to use stored glucose, improving insulin sensitivity over time. So I'm going to go ahead and share this, and then I'll get to the other comments and questions. Okay, so the fasting. Fasting is fuel for the body. Okay, so this is the sample. Our body has tank 1. It has 2 different tanks. There's the tank 1, where it's the sugar and the glucose, and then tank 2, that's the fat. So tank 1, our body uses up tank 1, and then once that's done, then it'll use up tank 2, which is the fat. Okay, it's the backup fuel when tank 1 runs low. So tank 1, we're constantly fueling it with the food that we eat. Breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, late snack. Okay, so tank 1 is constantly being refilled with food. So the fat in tank 2, it just sits waiting to be used. But because tank 1 is never being emptied, tank 2, the fat, just sits. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the fasting. So a 4 to 8 hour fast, what does it do? Blood sugar stabilizes beautifully after 4 to 8 hours. Insulin resistance starts improving. After 8 to 12 hours of fasting, the magic starts to happen. Fat cells being broken down, they turn into ketones. Okay? Ketones ketones produced made from fat storage. All right? The brain loves it. Brain loves ketones even more than the glucose. Remember we talked about the glucose is what the brain operates with, but the ketones it loves even more. So it helps with mental clarity, calm energy, and reduced hunger. After 12 to 16 hours, what happens in your body? It actively burns stored fat. Now tank 2 can start, really being used. So insulin levels are at its lowest. The repair to the insulin receptors begins to happen. And this is what's called autophagy. That's self-eating. That's what it's called, self-eating. That's when that begins. Okay, what is autophagy? Because I've heard of that before. This is when old damaged cells are broken down. Okay, did you hear that? Old damaged cells are broken down and rebuilt for new healthy cells. Autophagy. So this is after 12 to 16 hours of fasting. I'm going to say it again. Autophagy is old damaged cells are broken down and rebuilt for new healthy cells. Now you can't, this doesn't happen when we're eating all day long, constantly. We're not getting to autophagy. For diabetics, this is especially powerful because now, before I begin, in case anybody just hangs up and they don't hear anything else I have to say later, if you're diabetic or if you're on medication or anything, consult with your doctor before you do any kind of fast like this, especially 12 to 18 hours. Be under somebody's care, okay? And, we've got Joseph, we've got Minister Larry, we have Dr. Fisher. We've got a lot of people that you can consult with as well. All right, so for diabetics, this is especially powerful because damaged insulin receptors get cleared out and replaced. Inflammation throughout the body decreases. Cellular function improves dramatically. Okay, after 16 to 24 hours, this is almost a full day, what happens? Growth hormone increases dramatically, sometimes by 1,300 to 2,000%. This preserves and builds muscle while burning fat. Okay, it preserves and builds muscle while burning fat. Brain repair and regeneration. Neurons are being repaired and protected. Your brain is being repaired. Inflammation throughout the body drops significantly. Inflammation is linked to virtually every chronic disease, including diabetes. Okay? And I'll slow it down. Inflammation throughout the body drops significantly. Inflammation causes all kinds of stuff. Blood sugar reaches its most stable point, consistently low and steady with no spikes. Gut microbiome, we always hear about that, begins to reset. Your gut bacteria that influence blood sugar start rebalancing. Okay, now after 24 hours, stem cell production increases. Your body starts generating brand new immune cells. Blood pressure drops measurably. Insulin sensitivity improves dramatically, sometimes equivalent to months of medication. But this should never be done without a doctor's supervision, especially for diabetics on medication, because blood sugar can drop dangerously low. So, like I said, if you're going to attempt any of these intermittent fasting, please make sure you got somebody helping you with it. What's actually happening? Let's see. Okay, that's something different. Okay, so we can move forward. So yeah, I thought that was amazing. All right, so let's talk about rest and sleep. Sleep 7 to 9 hours nightly. People sleep under 6 hours have significantly higher blood sugar and insulin resistance than those that sleep 7 to 9 hours. Consistent sleep times, going to bed and waking up at the same time daily, that helps to regulate cortisol, which we'll talk about, which directly raises blood sugar. Screen-free. Oh, okay, so screen-free wind down. So when you're, stop looking at TV and computers about an hour or two before you get ready to go to bed. Rest is not laziness. It just, for those of you who feel like whenever you're resting, there's a problem, you're not doing what you need to do, go ahead and rest. Okay, this downtime helps the cortisol spikes, to stop spiking like that. Okay, manage stress. There was something I wanted to say about cortisol, because that was something else that I had learned. Okay, the sleep. All right, so let's talk about the sleep. I'm going to go back a little. Well, I'm not going to go back because I don't know how to. But anyway, I'm leave the screen here. So cortisol. Cortisol happens like, let's imagine you're walking down Martin Luther King, and then here comes a bear, okay, or a dog, whatever the case may be. I mean, I just want to say a bear to be more dramatic. Okay, immediately, you're shocked. Okay, cortisol. Okay, so the body is in danger mode. So that equals cortisol. That produces the cortisol. Cortisol is body dumping sugar for energy. So it just pushing that sugar out to give you energy to get to running, because you got to run from this bear. Okay, so the cortisol is your friend because it is trying to help you out, but it's doing too much because it's doing what it needs to do when there's a bear. Okay, you need the energy so you can go do what you need to do. The stress causes that. Okay, now this is where cortisol can become a problem, is when It's not just the dog or the bear, but it's the email that you got that has you worried. It's worrying about your bills. It's getting some bad news. It's, oh, I can't get my wig right. Oh, I feel stressed about that. Oh, I'm not looking right today. Oh, I've got too much weight around my stomach. Oh, and I'm feeling stressed about every little thing. And we do that. Looking on TikTok and seeing that this person looks better than you, and they're saying that you need to go ahead and try these different creams or try this or that so that you can look like them, which you'll never look like them. Stress, you're stressing. So your body is producing this cortisol. So while you're thinking and stressing about those little things, it's over here working for you, trying to give more energy. Okay, let me give her some more because she's stressed out. Let me give her some more. Give me some more. Okay, so that is the dangers of the cortisol. Okay, so we want to monitor the cortisol levels, and then the sleep is what helps you to calm. Is part of the thing that calms that down. Okay, so anyway, let's move forward. Okay, so managing the stress. Stress literally raises your blood sugar, even without eating anything. So the science about it. Stress equals the cortisol, increases the adrenaline release, liver dumps stored sugar into the bloodstream, blood sugar spikes without eating a thing. So this is happening even if we don't eat. Okay, so the ways we can manage that: deep breathing, and that really works. And breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4, hold it 7, and then blow out. And do your best by breathing into your stomach, not into your chest. I mean, you may start off breathing into your chest, but work on breathing into your stomach. Put your hand on your stomach and let it rise and fall. Okay, work on that really. And if you struggle with it, lie down, and it makes it a little bit easier. Walk in nature for about 15 minutes outdoors. It reduces cortisol and improves the glucose. Journaling, praying, and meditating. Community connection, that's what we're here for. And also digital breaks. Give the news media and give all that stuff that you see on, on the social media, give it a break. Karens and, things that happen with the police and all this other kind of stuff. Let's give all that kind of stuff a break. Even if it may be difficult at first because there's an addiction to that stuff too. So if you can give it a break for 15 minutes a day, then that's a start. Just give it a break, and then you gradually increase. Okay. Eat the right foods. Okay, this is another thing that was interesting. So, and this is for those that are struggling and you're not ready to go. And I'm not saying plant-based is for everybody. Some people I know try to do plant-based and they wound up having to, because O positive is more of a tendency for meat. So I'm going to let your body decide, let God deal with you and find out what is best for your body. I'm not going to say what works for everybody and what doesn't, because I don't know your body like you do. Okay, but there's an order that you need to eat these things. So when you eat the first thing, like when you put your plate all together, the first thing to eat is the vegetables and the fiber, because it helps to your gut. Okay, so the fibrous mesh in your gut slows sugar absorption. Okay, the second thing you do are the proteins and the fats. Okay, so, and then there are healthy fats that you can eat if you're vegetarian or you're striving to be plant-based completely. There are fats that you can eat in place of, like the protein meats and things like that. Slows gastric emptying, further blunting glucose curve, okay? The third thing to eat are the starches and the carbs, okay? It causes smaller spikes because now it has the lining of the vegetables and the proteins. And then the last thing, which it would be best if you just eliminate that eventually, are the sweets and the fruits. Never on an empty stomach. Always at end of a full meal. Now I don't know what to say about the fruit. I think the fruit is okay. This is what Chat came up with. Well, Claude came up with the sweets and fruits last, and that not to eat it on an empty stomach. I personally feel like the fruit's okay on an empty stomach, but like I said, you got to do your own research. That's why I got my glucose machine, so I could try it and see what kind of spike or what my numbers will be after I eat certain things. So just try it out and see. So preferably no sweets though. But if you have to have your sweets and you're weaning yourself off, eat it last. Okay. Apple cider vinegar, 1 teaspoon in water before meals can further reduce spikes by 20%. All right. So the power of sleep, we kind of talked about that. Let's see. What else did I want to say about sleep? Okay, so I'll just say these few things, these little notes that I wrote. Even one night of bad sleep makes your cells resistant to insulin. Poor sleep increases hunger hormone, decreases fullness hormone. So when you sleep poorly, it makes you more hungry and less full. You wake up looking for sugar or carbs for quick energy, and the body is always looking out, dumping more sugar. So there goes that cycle. So you don't get enough rest, and now you're tired, you're sleepy. And now your body is like, uh-oh, she's sleepy. Let me put some more sugar out there. Let me put some more out there so that she could go ahead and get some energy. Okay, so we're falsely giving our body reasons to act when they don't need to act. Okay? So just try your best to get some more rest. All right. Okay, awesome. I didn't think I'd finish everything. And I think that's everything that I wanted to share because it was a lot. You guys, I strongly, strongly recommend that you just sit down with ChatGPT or with Claude, which I like Claude better actually. And I'm gonna put this disclaimer out there. Look, AI is at your own at your own risk. I decided for the longest, I'm like, I'm not doing AI, but because I'm trying to build this and trying to share this information with people, I've gotten a lot of help from it. So I'm using it for that. But I think the information that it gives you is unmeasurable. I mean, you could ask it to teach you like a child, and it will break it down for you. And that's what I need because I don't know this stuff. Okay, so we have, first of all, we have the event coming up on the 28th. Now, this event is to help for blood pressure and diabetes. It's to educate you, but also it's to help you with plants. So planting the foods that will help you lower your blood pressure. Now, this is a twofold thing because we see the condition of the world and what's going on with the food. We can't really trust the vegetables that we get because, spinach gets recalled because it has different things in it. Vegetables get recalled. So we can't really trust the food that we have. So eventually we're going to have to, well, right now we really need to start doing our own gardens. So this is a way to get you started on a garden. We're going to do this again, but this time I have help. And this day you'll take home, you'll be able to get a seed, and plant that. But we'll also have seeds that you could purchase. That's going to be cheap. You could purchase those to get your garden going. You'll have the cups to start it, to plant and whatever. We'll have the soil and everything. And in a couple of weeks, in this program that we have after this, in a couple of weeks, you'll get with somebody that's an expert on planting, and she will help you with the next step. And then 2 more weeks, okay, next step, let's plant that in the soil. And this is the kind of soil you can use, etc., etc. In 2 months, we all come together and we swap our food. Here, this is what I planted. I only, grew this. Oh, you have some of that? Okay, let's share. Let's swap. Okay. And then eventually we'll have, full-blown gardens. Okay, so that's what this event is going to be about. You'll find out about plants with Shabazz, and Shabazz is the one that does the custom herbs. So if you go to his office, you can ask him, you can tell him all of your symptoms. He'll ask you questions, and then he will customize herbs for you. He's got over 250 herbs in his office alone, just right there in his office. And he will customize the herbs for you. And I've heard he's got a lot of testimonies about that. So he will be there. You can talk to him. He will. He's not going to be there too long because he is married to his work. This is his passion. It's obvious, and he does an amazing job at it. And that's all he does. He just does that from, I think, 9 in the morning to 9 at night. But he loves what he does. So he will be there, and he will be talking about that. And then we will have a workshop where you can do your vision board. You can speak with our vendors. And then you can also go plant your seeds. You can go plant your seeds. So you'll have the 3 things that you're able to do at that time. Finish with this. So you deserve to feel well. Get your blood sugar tested. Ask for an A1C and a fasting glucose. Start with one change this week at least. And I'm talking about the ones that aren't ready to just dive in, that you're not ready, you're just like, I don't know. Just start with one thing. If you can't do, a lot of these things, do one thing at least. Pick what resonates with you the most. Tell someone you trust so you can be accountable. And then, come back to us and listen, find out more information. We have so many resources that can help with this process. So you got to be careful with what you're thinking. Let me, I'm going to mention our program right quick, and then so that you guys can get the information here, because the time just flew by. So this is, if you're struggling with blood pressure or diabetes, this is how you can start the path with reversing it. So we have the Ultimate Lifestyle Reset series. So now I call it a series because each month I want to have a different issue. Like next month, we're going to be talking about cholesterol. So we're going to be diving into cholesterol next month. This month is blood pressure and diabetes. So our program is called Empowered by Plants. If you scan, because you can actually point this at your computer or whatever and scan it, or you could do a screenshot. You should be able to do a screenshot and then just use that. But if you scan it, you'll get the details for the event on the left. On the right, if you scan that, that'll get you signed up. It's $30 for admission. And after this program, after this event, we are coming up with a program. We are creating a program that will help you to improve your lifestyle. And that's why we call it an ultimate lifestyle reset. Because when I was pricing different things on them, what they do for these things, a lot of the things that we're doing is not mentioned in those programs. So I'm going to go briefly over who we'll have there, because I talked about it before. But Dr. Can, who worked with Dr. Montgomery with patients that were going through his 28-day detox, she will be there to monitor those. This is a 6-week program. The very first week is detox. It's detoxing yourself and detoxing your kitchen. So you don't have to worry about the food that first week, because I need a process. I need, let me do it slowly. So because I need it, I figure there's some other people that need it too. So we have an actual chef. She actually is a real chef, Nova. She's going to be working with you as well. So she's going to be giving you different foods that you can put into your kitchen, like different staples that you can have to season your food. And her food is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. So she's going to be doing virtual classes with us every week. And if she's not available to be there in the virtual class, she'll give us a video where you can actually see how to prepare your food to taste different and delicious. And it will be like a meal prep. So you'll have the food for the whole week. So you don't have to, when you open up that refrigerator, I don't know what to eat. No, you got a delicious meal, a raw meal, sitting right here looking you in the face. You don't have to worry about all these other things. So we also have, that's week 1. Week 2 through week 5, we will have where you're, the first week also you get your lab work. We're going to encourage you to get your lab work. We have an elite program. The lab work and all of that is built in that. So we give you the information, you go get it, you come back, and then Dr. Can will actually work with those one-on-one with the group. Then she'll also give like information what your scores should be, where we should, and then like we'll have a diet program. So that will be through the rest of the time, for the rest of the 6 weeks, the diet program. We also have an actual dancer, and he's one of the Sunshine family members, Baba Chris. He's been on here before. He talked about herbs. He is going to actually do some live classes with us. So those that are interested in actually having live classes, we'll find a place. Once we find out who's all going to be in the program, we'll find a place that's in the middle, and he'll meet with us either once a week or twice a week, depending on the group and what they want to do. So, but to start, it'll be once a week. He can add on though. And also we'll have someone from Kim. She's from Kendleton's garden. They do that garden over, that community garden. She's going to be working with us as well for the garden program of it. So there are a lot of people in this program that will help you to get on track. So it's not. I will also prepare a list of our resources, people that like Minister Larry, Joseph, Dr. Fisher, Dr. Can, of course, all of these people, and I'm going to work with them to see if we can do some discounts for this program alone, like for the 6 weeks, if we can get discounts for that time. And let's see, I think that's everything with the program. And if you are interested, I will have more details that I send out there for you guys. Like I say, this information is so important. It is so necessary. It is so not known that I just had to share this. I had to, get this information out to you. The more I learn, the more I'm going to share. And, we're in this fight together. It's not just you by yourself. If you're sitting on here and you're thinking, oh, but I'm just too overweight and I'm just too tired, or, my situation is just too bad. It's not. It isn't. Sunshine and Wellness is here for you. You can give me a call, 281-891-9903. We can discuss a plan for you. I could let you know I could hear your situation and let you know, okay, well, you might want to try this or consult with this person or whatever the case may be. Now, the event, the program that I was talking about, the 6 week program, there's a fee to it. However, if you are struggling with finances, get with me, and so I am reaching out for sponsors. And if you get with me and I could give you our sponsorship letter, you could send that out to different places and you can raise your own sponsorship. You could, raise the money for your attendance. So just get with me, 281-891-9903, and we can discuss that, and whatever you come up with to raise, then, like I said, that will go towards your program. Well, I hope that you guys, I really, really hope you got something out of this, and I hope that this has sparked something in you to start working on you. Like I said, just if you're not ready to do it. Oh, I forgot to talk about the exercise. Oh my God, I'm going to say this real quickly. Okay, and this is one of the most important things. I can't believe I forgot. So the exercise, this blew my mind. So if you have diabetes or if you're pre-diabetic and things aren't working with your, with the insulin and all of that, if you exercise, if you eat your food, now you've got the sugars all in there, building your muscle absorbs the sugar without insulin. It absorbs sugar. Exercise. If you just simply do a 10 to 30 minute walk after you eat your food, or if you just do something Do something. Just get a bottle and just lift it or something. It is absorbing some of the sugar without the medication. It is absorbing sugar. So exercise, building your muscle is extremely important when you have diabetes. And please do a little more research on that so you can find out what I'm saying and how it's true. But if you just simply do the exercise, your muscles are like a sponge and it absorbs the glucose. So when we're sitting around all day, every day, just eating, and we've got diabetes, we have an opportunity to absorb that with the exercise. In the morning, 7 o'clock, Monday through Friday, you can log in on this same Zoom chat or same Zoom link, and we do exercise every Monday through Friday, and that's a good way to get your body absorbing some of that glucose. So I just wanted to share that. I can't believe I almost forgot that, because that was the main thing that blew my mind the most. All right, so that's it for today, because it's 11:44. You guys have to go and enjoy your day, and I need to go enjoy mine as well, even though I enjoy mine on here. But that's it for today. So if you guys have anything any questions or anything you wanted to share with me or anything, just send me a chat, and I'll get with you, or we could talk about it. So 281-891-9903 if you want to join the event, or if you want to join the program afterwards. Get with me. Don't feel like, oh, I don't have the money, so I can't do it. Get with me, because I don't want anybody to miss out. All right, I think that's everything. I'm gonna let you guys go so that I can go ahead. I've got to go at my mother's house, so I got to get out of here. And thank you guys for coming on. I appreciate each and every one of you. Whatever you do today, go out and love yourself. Please love yourself. So peace and love, everybody. You guys have a beautiful day.